Hi there, and welcome to what has of course become a bit of an internet institution here on YouTube. It is of course the Great and Glorious Tarot Show. This is a place, if you don't already know, where you can get a free of charge tarot reading. There's only one place where I provide you with tarot readings free of charge, and that is here within the Tarot Show. The way that you can actually apply to have your questions answered is to send through an email to nickdutchtarot@gmail.com. That's nickdutchtarot, all one word lowercase, @gmail.com. And I will be more than happy to add you to the rota and basically get your readings done. No questions about medical matters, pregnancy and childbirth. Yes, I have had a few of those come through recently. Do try and avoid that particular subject, okay? And I avoid that subject for legal reasons as well as ethical reasons. Do remember that legally speaking, a tarot reading, a clairvoyant reading, a mediumship reading, and all the rest of that is billed as an entertainment service for good common sense reasons. Namely, you are the final decision maker within your own life and within your own situation. So that's just a bit of basic background. For those of you who haven't already had a chance to apply, there should be a link down there in the information box, which will take you to the tarot course, which is just 22 days worth of tarot meditations. Go to the link, enter in your details. That will add you to the system, and basically you'll receive an email each and every single day for the 22 days of the major arcana of the tarot. Okay, so that will just give you a bit of extra background, whether you're studying tarot yourself, whether you're curious about the meanings of the cards, whether you're using it for self-developmental purposes, or basically whatever. And I'll crack straight on with the first reading of today. Okay, John, you've got a question about your career. Let's have a quick look and see basically what the reading says about that. Okay, so you've done photography, you've done some art and design, you've done some courses on design work, you've been doing some web design, you want to see whether you can finally get a job going soon because you've been unemployed for a long period of time. Alright, well I'm giving the cards a nice thorough shuffle to see basically what's going to come through. Bear with me a second please. Okay, here it goes. Right, the energy I've got about here is basically saying that you've been patient enough. Alright, that's basically where you have been. You've reached a point of frustration. Basically you're looking for a time of action to occur. That makes an awful lot of sense basically with what we've got in front of me, what I'm feeling about your own energy as well. You're looking for a final really good results, and basically I'm seeing a massive change in your fortunes there without the shadow of a doubt. Now the progression within the future is essentially moving away from this time of, having been far too patient, to the point whereby you're going to start to get the results which have been forecast essentially by the Ace of Swords there, which is talking about action and willpower, and action which is actually going to do you some good. Now the Prudence card, the Eight of Coins there, is still a coins card, so it's still talking about your career, but it is still suggesting that you need to move away from what people have been promising you as far as your career is concerned, and thinking more about what is actually appropriate for your career. Okay, it's almost like people have been saying, well, if you sign up for this one particular course, or you do this one particular degree, then you will get there. But in reality, it's a little harder than that. You need to have all the qualifications, yes, but you've got to be able to force yourself a little more to basically get to where you want to go. Now, you chose this career, namely in terms of art, design and creativity, because it matches you, it matches your very nature. Okay, you are naturally a creative individual and someone who's got a bit of an instinct to bring about something good in other people's lives. But despite the fact it's what you've been wishing for all your life, will it actually come to fruition? It feels to me as if this is still a little outside of your reach, but because you've laid down such a good foundation, you will be able to turn this around. Remember the prophecy of the Ace of Swords there. The Ace of Swords is essentially talking about willpower and action in this particular case, and you being the person who creates it for yourself. Okay, Samantha, I'll have a quick look at your relationship for you and see basically what's coming through. But remember what I've already said on our phone call, I think is still basically what's most likely to be the case. Alright, but we'll have a quick look and we'll see basically what the reading says. Bear with me a second, please. I mean, I did think on the strength of the last reading that we did together that this was someone who had now moved out of your life. So let's have a quick look. Hmm. I mean, this is still the standard 8-card relationship reading, but the message I'm getting is very slightly different. I mean, the forces for the here and now is still talking about him being basically a bit of a childlike individual who's out for his own recreation and fun. There, I'll just show you the cards, okay, so you get an idea as to the kind of message I'm getting. So he wants, he wants to have pleasure. He's looking for to create a future, but he's not thinking about the proper right actions. Sure, he wants to do the shared experiences thing, but he's not thinking of turning around the meaning of those shared experiences into something which will romantically do both of you some good. He's sort of like not quite connecting with you in that particular respect. The victory signs are there, so he's giving you the hope, but he's not really giving you the kind of like, okay, well, let's settle down, sit down around a table, have a nice cup of tea together, and think about where we want this relationship to go forward, who's going to be living with who, will all the children, your children and my children, live together under the same roof, and so on and so forth. And to think about the money and who's paying the council tax and all the other related things. He's not quite in that frame of mind at this present point in time. Instead, you've got someone who's still thinking that they can basically waste a bit of time here, waste a bit of time there, and not settle down. It appears to me that this is just an anxiety thing. Again, we've got the Ace of Swords. Now, in this particular case, the position in the reading it's coming is in the forces between the two of you, suggesting that there is going to be some kind of dynamic action which is going to happen. You're on the cusp of it, you're on the edge of it. It's just his like brick wall which he's put up is like stop the flow of information, therefore making it less easy for you both to have a future that you would approve of. Okay? That feeling of distance there is strong. And that feeling of distance is still apparent because he's basically trying to avoid the issues and he's not focusing in on where things can go. And this is a classic relationship spread, okay, because on your side of things, you're being portrayed as a strong, down-to-earth individual who knows what's right, who knows what's rational, knows what's appropriate, and basically has a good practical understanding of money. But on his side of things, if you think about the energy there coming through with the Wheel of Fortune, alright, that's more to do with the funfair mentality. Let's go out and spend some money, let's go out and have some fun, okay? Which I think was the way in which he traditionally built relationships and friendships with people, and he didn't actually move it onto this more solid, stable foundation. Now, you want that. You want that consistency and reliability. But I think you want him to say it. But despite the fact that he's been using words quite well, I don't really see him reaching that point of consistency, okay? Progression in the future. This is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Because the longer term future signs, that's what's talking about transformation in a very big way. But to get there, alright, what have I said about the Six of Swords before? It's a card relating to planning and preparation. Right? It's a question of thinking and observing, studying, paying attention, putting much more of your attention back onto things which really, really matter, okay? And of course, the Four of Staves is much more to do with reaching that sense of happiness and peace and joy. Okay, so the portents for the future is brilliant. Now, the Lightning Struck Tower, it might speak about things being turned around into, in a negative manner, but essentially there's still that feeling of bolt from the blue, which is going to be good for you. Planning and preparing. So maybe that bolt from the blue is him lowering his wall, allowing that real communication to start flowing, okay? And also a feeling of completion, wholeness, and being in the right place at the right time together. This relationship is still emerging, but it's not there yet. Give me another call in 3 months' time and let me know how it's going, because I believe that by then you may see some real progress. Okay. Okay, Melanie. Very quickly, I'm trying to move away from general readings, but you're asking about finance, so I can try and focus in on that side of things. You're also asking about things which won't hurt your body or your mental state. Okay. Be aware, I don't read upon medical issues, so that's something you just need to think about. And to anyone who's basically making an inquiry of me, just be aware, no medical matters, no pregnancy, no childbirth, and etc., and so on and so forth. But let's have a quick look and see whether the ability to make some money in a manner which is okay for yourself and may just about cover your expenses is going to basically come your way. Bear with me a second, please. I mean, if you do have a history of health problems, then trying to find something that will be okay for yourself can be difficult. I mean, one of the many reasons why I'm doing this job is because I know that I've got health limits. So I found a job in which I can work within my own limits, basically speaking, as well as doing people some good. Right, okay, financial signs. You've basically got some of them, which is pretty good. Okay, 3 of coins, that actually refers to hard work being done. That's in the short-term future part of your reading. So essentially I'm feeling very happy with what I've seen there, okay? And also, once more, we've got the Star card out, which is essentially talking about what you want to get from this situation is basically going to come your way. Now, will it come easily? Well, there's many reasons why we could have water signs coming through. You need to use your empathy, but you also need to use your self-perception. Water can also speak about reflections. When you're washing your hands and face in the morning, you're looking into the sink of water or the basin of water, you can see your own reflection. It's about reflection in this particular case, and reflecting upon what you can do, what you're interested in doing, the changes you wanted to make in your own life for other people, as well as the things you basically wanted for yourself all along. That's essentially one of those things you've got to start bearing in mind. I think that this is a time of you working out in a creative way what particular attributes you've actually got. Don't panic about this. Don't think that I've suddenly given you this like massive, big, scary task and oh my god, no, I've already tried to work through that, I've already tried to work that out, and I've had this obstacle getting in my way, that obstacle getting in my way, I haven't got any more choices anymore. Well, I don't think that all of your choices have been completely got rid of. I just don't see that. There's a feeling of some kind of option on the basis of your own self-reflection, okay, which will give you what you want and what you're after within reason, but with a lot of hard work still needing to be done. Okay, my belief here is that there is a way for you, and a way for you which you'll actually be able to do. So yeah, that's what you need to be thinking about at the moment. Going through that period of reflection. Maybe take a bit of extra time for yourself, go for a walk in the park, whatever it is you need, just so that you can have those moments of contemplation which will help to give you that extra flash of inspiration. Research jobs you wouldn't normally research work from home opportunities that you wouldn't normally look at. Okay? Don't get excited by somebody else's sales pitch, but instead counterbalance what you see with what you know about yourself. Man, know thyself. Okay, the riddle of the Sphinx. Man, know thyself. Know yourself. Know what you can do. Know what you can't do. Try and work out a system which fits in with your life so you can get to where you want to go. Okay, honey bunny. You've got a complex one, haven't you? You've got a real complex one going here. Okay? Just like one of those days when, Nick Dutch sort of starts work and hey presto, he's got all the easiest questions in the whole wide world just sitting there ready and waiting for him. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let's have a quick look and see what he really feels in accordance with what the reading says. Bear with me a second, please. Here we go. Standard 8-card relationship reading. Slightly more advanced in this particular case, but that's still what we're doing. And we've got some interesting signs there. You asked what he really feels. Really, he's got feelings. Does he have the personality? That's the question. Does he have what it takes to actually make a relationship work? Whether you've got a heart bond with him or not, is that really relevant? Okay, is that really relevant? It's the way a person actually is, the way they behave, which actually makes the relationship work. Sometimes you can be tolerant, okay, and you can allow that. You can allow there to be real progression there. But the force between the two of you is essentially love signs there. In fact, I've laid everything out on the board here. I might be able to turn the whole board around and be able to show you basically the way the cards are lying there. Let's see if I can do it without, whoops, no, not quite, I can't. So I've got another challenge here, haven't I? Okay, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. That's your side of things. classic balance of you having abundant love and stability. On his side of things, he's got love, but a changeable nature, and I don't think he's ever constant. Okay, but despite that, you know, we've got the romantic signs in the force between the two of you, suggesting love, and then there's a progression there, boom, boom, boom. All right, leading to a stability and an eventual feeling of happiness and blending your energy. So if your energy is not being blended at the moment, because that's in the future part of the reading, that's not the force between the two of you, is it? That's in the future part of the reading, and that's what you're working up to. Then you're not really in a position of agreement. You're not discussing things, and you haven't worked out in what ways you are willing to basically be open towards change and progress, and what ways he's open to being, properly open towards change and progress. All right, these things haven't been worked through. Where are the boundaries? Have you laid them down? Has he laid some down? Are you willing to work within his? Have you stepped over some of his boundaries at some point? Or have you actually, pushed him away when basically you weren't feeling all that good about the relationship? The feeling of boundaries crossed, causing turbulence within the relationship, is very, very strong here. How he feels is good, but the feeling of boundaries crossed is massive here. So I think what you've got to do is just to basically be a little more capable of repairing the damage which has been done. Okay? Okay, January SE. So you want to know whether he's willing to open up and show his feelings and build the bond that you've always wanted. Okay, let's have a quick look and see basically what's coming on through here. Bear with me a second, please. Still using my traditional method, combination of tarot and anything else that comes through. I hope that's okay. Obviously, for a more detailed reading, you may still need to get on the phone with me. Links below as per usual, alright? I'm still very reasonable. I'm one of the cheapest people on the various websites out there. I really am. Can't be like that forever, I'm telling you. So obviously, call quickly before I change my mind. Available in the mornings, of course. Right, here we go. Okay, we've had a couple of iffy readings so far. I think we can give you a pretty strong affirmative here. A pretty strong affirmative. I mean, this is crazy. This really is crazy. I shuffle like mad all the time, and I get the same card coming out. I mean, sometimes it's like that, So today we got like an Ace of Swords day for some reason. Sometimes we have like a Queen of Cups day, or whatever it is. We've got a serious Ace of Swords day here, no matter what. Right, okay, now the force is on your side of things. You were concerned, but you're not as concerned now. You're more sure, but you're not sure whether he's sure. He feels a very strong bond with you, but he's not very good at talking about it, but he's starting to fight against that so that he can actually start to open up and make things happen. Your question was, is he going to start opening up? The reading is suggesting yes. Okay, force between the two of you, talking about victory, talking about communication. Then we've got 3 more cards, haven't we? Short term, mid term, long term, future. Alright. Short term. Feeling of solitude, yes, but also heading towards a particular goal. Knowing what that goal is, heading for it, very good, very positive, alright? Then we've got more in the way of romantic signs there, because essentially cup signs do overlap with romance. They also overlap with social interaction, but in this particular case, it's a romantic question, having romantic signs coming out in a romance spread, considering we've already had romantic signs on your side of things and his side of things, okay, because cup signs is associated with that, and we got it quite well balanced throughout the spread. So it's essentially talking about you've more or less got the right and the same attitude towards what the relationship is actually about already. You're just like at the cusp of like, boom, really making it gel or bond to the point whereby you'll both be happy, basically. So it's building up quite nicely, you're moving in the right direction, and it's actually looking really rather positive, actually. So I'm going to give you a strong affirmative for that one. If you did have another question as to whether your dreams in a certain area of life were basically going to start to come true. So let's have a quick look. So it was happiness and all the rest of that jazz, wasn't it? What words? Inner peace. That was one of the words, one of the phrases that you used there. So let's have a quick look. We know what the signs are which relate to peace and balance and equilibrium. See what we're going to get here for you. Carry on working for it. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't prime these readings. I don't talk rubbish here. That's what you've got at the moment. All right. It feels dark. It feels gloomy. It's slow progress. If there is a light at the end of the tunnel, it's a bloody long way away and you can't quite tell whether it's a reflection or not. That's the way it feels for you right now, isn't it? As far as your job, your family and all the rest of it. But here we go. Right, we've spoken about these cards before in previous readings, haven't we? The Lust card speaks about desires and knowing where you want to go. The Lover speaks about more responsibility, being able to take responsibility and making really, really good decisions about your future. And finally, the Magician talking about new beginnings. Hold on to the hope. Just hold on to the hope, because I've got a feeling of progression. Alright, you're not there yet. But one day you will be. And you'll be able to look back and you'll be able to say, well, actually, a few years back, right, I had this weird experience, because I contacted this chap on the internet. His name was Nick Dutch. Quite a sensitive, empathic chap he was, right? And also very cheap. And what he did is he did a tarot reading for me in this thing he called the Tarot Show. And it came out really rather positive. And now, all of a sudden, I've got it. I'm there. I reckon that's what's going to happen. It might take a few more years, yes. But as far as peace of mind, inner peace, that feeling of not needing to fight anymore, yeah, it's all going to come for you. Okay, Mark, you've got a very difficult situation, haven't you? When it comes to matters of criminality, it makes my life difficult, okay, because of the nature of the question and the nature of the work, and what I feel I can do and what I feel I can't do. Because you've made such a strong attempt to try and change your life, I'm already feeling very positive emotions towards you, basically. You know, I quite like you already. So let's have a quick look and see what the reading says. Bear with me a second, please. I'm not going to go into too many details, don't worry, you know, client confidentiality and all that. Right. Because you're living a changed life, okay, because you're not going back to that old way anymore. It's what the Death card is reminding me of, right? Because what you said in your message is what the Death card's reminding me of. I think you're going to be okay. Again, we've got the Lightning Struck Tower, which speaks about revolution. It does speak about old walls and old boundaries and old ways of thinking being torn down. I actually had a Lightning Struck Tower moment actually a couple of years ago when I came into this group of people who previously I had some prejudices against, and I met them and I found they were very nice and warm and loving people, and all of a sudden, boom, you know, my own prejudice and hatred sort of like went away. Alright, that's the way it is with us humans at some point. You know, we build up these like walls and these fortresses, which is basically saying, no, this is what I think, nothing can knock it back. And then you have an experience which knocks it down. The Lightning Struck Tower is a bolt from the blue, which is knocking down the old walls and old barriers. Which means that I think that you can start integrating into normal civilized life now. The feeling that the reading is suggesting to me is that you've done what you've had to now. You know, this moment which has come for you in the past few months has actually been very good, and you've basically got to where you want to go. The Universe card turns up sometimes when there has been learning, but learning which has come about through a bit of suffering on the way. Now, I think you've been through all the suffering that, you know, your body and your mind can take, and now you're trying to change. And I think it's absolutely wonderful of you. You've got yourself involved with all of those charities, and you're trying to help people who are basically in a similar situation that you were in before, so that you can start doing some good. So this is a very positive reading as well. You know, strong signs of stability and strength as far as your character is concerned. Yes, it's a female sign. It's the Queen of Discs, but that's because, you know, it's your sensitivity coming out to the fore. All right. It doesn't mean to say that you're having a sex change, alright? It means to say that it's your sensitivities and your practicality and also your forgiving nature which is coming to the fore. You really are becoming someone who can do some good. So it's a very, very positive spread for you. And I'm just very glad that you've turned the corner and you're starting to do basically what's right. MRK 1990! Okay, this is a very curious one. Obviously, you may even feel, you know, quite lucky that you did get drunk and send that text message to that lady you used to know, but never mind. we'll see what the reading says. You know, maybe something will happen there. Maybe you'll actually end up with a situation that will be above and beyond, you know, the call of duty, so to speak. Here we go, here we go. All I can do is tell you what I can see. I mean, basically, that's all there is to it. Right. Obviously, standard 8-card relationship reading. I've expanded it a little, so it's now a 9-card reading, so that we can just get a bit more in the way of clarity. This individual has great potential for you. This is the force between the two of you. This wealth is not material, it is allegorical, it's spiritual, it's emotional. This is someone who's had feelings for you all the time, but doesn't necessarily, or hasn't been able to feel that they can actually connect with you and connect with you properly, okay? So that's why it's, you know, it is the way it is. Right. Their side of things. When you get more communication from this individual, yes, it will be positive, but also she'll be bitter. That's what the Queen of Swords is about. It's the bunny boiler mentality, okay? This is someone who's feeling rather jilted by you because of the past. She can be forgiven, she will be forgiven. The other signs for her, thank heavens, it's the 9 of Cups, which takes a lot of the drama out of the situation, will basically help to mellow her out. So just be aware that that negative aspect will be there inside her, but don't you take it too seriously, because she's the one who's got to get over it, okay? Just help her to calm down, you know, that's the main message there. On your side of things, still heavily passionately connected to her and willing to put in hard work, which means that yes, this is a very good connection, okay? You're willing to put in hard work. If you can get over the fact that she's going to be approaching you with a bit of a fiery wall there, it's, you know, I think you'll potentially be okay. Right, the progression, bam. Okay, whoops, I've just dropped one. Short term, communication, maybe some argumentation. So there is going to be a bit of a fight initially, then some of the negativity, some bad stuff will get dredged up to the surface. You won't like that. But you will like the fact that there is still some stability and potential for further stability there leading to victory. So you'll be able to brag to other people. You'll get the bragging rights. That's what that card means. Alright, valor. What is valor? Telling everyone how well you've done. That's basically the main message of the reading. So, give it some time, work with it, okay? I see some good stuff later on down the line for you. So just realise that you're basically moving yourself in the next right direction, and it can be okay. Okay. To anybody else out there who wants to be included, who wants to have your reading inquiry included in the tarot show, send through an email to nickdutchtarot@gmail.com. That's NICKDUTCHTAROT @gmail.com. Also, don't forget the links down below if you want to call me live. Yes, I do this for a living. That's right, I actually do this for a living. It is my job to lay out the cards, tell you what I can see. It's not an easy job. I receive some of the hardest inquiries. Sometimes I know I have to take some time off in the afternoon if I've had like a massive run of like really, you know, traumatic situations I've got to read on. Okay, it's a hard job, and I really do put my passion into this work. Okay, so links down below if you want to get in touch. Don't forget, a tarot reading is an entertainment service, legally speaking. Okay, for good, common sense reasons. Good fortune, God bless. Don't let the bed bugs bite, and keep cool.